The sky was on fire. The battlefield of Rallos 9 burned with red light as alien war machines moved across the land. Explosions shook the ground. Black smoke covered the air, turning the evening into a nightmare. Giant insect-like creatures, the Korgans, screamed as they ran through the human lines. Captain Alara Gray lay flat on the muddy ground. Blood ran from her forehead. Her armor was cracked, her right leg badly hurt. Around her, fallen soldiers. Screams in her ear, radio signals. Half broken. "This is Bravo Team. We are surrounded. We need static command. Do you read me?" "We're..." Status Alara grabbed her rifle, but it was broken. Her vision blurred. The pain in her leg made it hard to think. She reached for her emergency beacon. Just 30 more meters, she could crawl. "Come on. Move," she whispered to herself, teeth clenched. 3 hours earlier. Everything had seemed simple, a routine mission. Their objective: set charges near the Korgan energy towers and fall back. It was supposed to be fast. Ilara was leading Squad Nova, one of the best recon units. 10 soldiers trained for deep field operations. The plan was clear, but it was a trap dot. As soon as they reached the towers, the ground cracked open. Dozens of Korgan burst out, not foot soldiers, but elite hunters. Bigger, faster, smarter. Communications jammed. Air support gone. Within minutes, half the squad was down. Ilara ordered a retreat. They ran toward the pickup zone, but it was already too late. Present moment. Ilara coughed, tasting blood. Her fingers finally touched the beacon, a small round metal device. She pressed the emergency signal. A faint blue light blinked. The distress call was sent. Command: "This is Captain Ilara Gray. I'm alive, requesting immediate evac from grid C-47. Injured. Hostile contact nearby. Please respond." Silence. She waited. Seconds passed. Then a voice came through. "Copy that, Captain Gray. Evac en route. E to 4 minutes. Hold your position." Relief washed over her. She smiled faintly. 4 minutes. Just hold on. She looked at the dead body of Private Hensley, her closest squad mate. He had shielded her from a plasma blast earlier. She had survived. He had not. "I'm getting us out, Hen," she whispered. 4 minutes later. She heard it, the low hum of a dropship. A sleek, black craft appeared in the smoky sky. It hovered above the ground. A voice crackled in her ear. "Captain Gray, visual confirmed." Preparing for pickup, she waved her arm. "I'm here." The dropship opened its hatch. A silhouette stepped forward. It was Colonel Rain, her superior, but something was wrong. He wasn't looking at her. He was talking to someone else behind him. All units accounted for. No signs of survivors. What? Ilara raised her hand again, yelling, "I'm alive, Colonel Rain. I'm right here." No answer. The dropship began rising. "No, wait." She tried to stand, collapsed from pain. "I'm here, damn it." Through the smoke, she saw Rain clearly now. He looked straight at her and then turned away. The hatch closed. The dropship disappeared into the sky. They had left her on purpose. Al and Ilara lay there in silence. Shock, confusion, anger. They saw her. She knew they did. So why? She remembered the last briefing before the mission. Rain had avoided her eyes. Something felt off. Now she knew this was never a rescue. This was disposal. "I was never supposed to come back," she whispered. The Korgan had stopped attacking too. That was strange. They had overrun the zone. But now it was quiet. Too quiet. She heard a faint clicking sound. Turning her head slowly, she saw them, 3 tall Korgan figures standing just 10 meters away. Dark exoskeletons. Glowing green eyes. They were watching her. She reached for her knife. It was all she had, but they didn't move. Instead, one of them raised a strange device. It floated in the air and scanned her. Blue light moved across her. body, she tensed. Then, nothing. The Korgan turned and left. No attack, no sound. Just gone. The second awakening time blurred. She must have passed out. Her next memory was waking in a dark cave. Not natural, smooth walls shaped by alien hands, soft lights glowed above. Her wounds were closed. Not healed, but different. Her leg had strange marks. Lines of silver under her skin, like veins of metal. Her armor was removed, replaced by a thin alien suit, like skin. She stood slowly. Her mind was clear, too clear. She could feel something buzzing in her head, like voices. Not human. She stumbled forward, saw a mirror-like surface, looked at her reflection. Her eyes were wrong. Still blue, but glowing faintly. Memories. But not hers. As she touched the wall, images flashed in her mind. A star exploding. Ships burning. A small child running through a tunnel. She stepped back, breathing hard. Whose memories are these? No answer, only silence. Then a whisper in her head. Not a voice, but a feeling. Bridge. She shook her head. What? You are the bridge. Suddenly, a screen lit up. Alien symbols, then human text. Subject number 7, Phase 1 complete. DNA interface, stable. Candidate, Elara Gray. Project Bridge. She stepped closer. Her name. Her file, but from who? She kept reading. Purpose, host with dual command interface. Link between organic and machine. Human and Korgan. She backed away. No, this isn't real. But deep down, she knew. They had done something. To her, the Korgan hadn't killed her. They had chosen her. Truth in pieces over the next few days, or was it hours? She explored the alien structure. It was half buried under the surface of Rallos 9. Ancient, but still alive. She found more records. Project Bridge wasn't Korgan technology alone. It was combined. Human scientists had worked on it too. Own people had made her this way. She found footage. Secret meetings. One face stood out. Colonel Rain. He had approved her deployment. She remembered something now. The medical scans before the mission. The injections. The strange questions. They had known. They had sent her out, hoping the Korgan would finish the job. She survived. She trained herself. Her new body reacted faster. Her mind could touch Korgan tech, open doors with thought, see security feeds without a screen. But it came at a price. Nightmares. Visions of places she had never seen. Pain in her bones. Still, she survived. She made armor from the alien materials. A new weapon, part plasma, part railgun. And one clear goal in her mind. Get off this planet. The message. She found a functioning signal console. It took hours to link it with her neural system. But finally, she accessed human frequencies. The voice message she sent was simple, cold, controlled. To Earth Command, this is Captain Elara Gray. You left me for dead. I am alive. I know the truth, and I am coming. She ended the message, walked out into the burning sky of Rallos 9. And smiled for the first time in days. Final scene, cliffhanger, aboard an Earthship. Light years away, a red light blinked on a console. A young officer picked it up. Commander, you need to hear this. The message played. As Elara's voice echoed through the ship. The commander's face turned pale. He whispered, impossible. She can't be alive. But deep down, he knew. The ghost they created was real, and she was coming home. Scene 1. The mirror doesn't lie inside the alien structure. Captain Elara Gray stared at her reflection. The eyes staring back weren't fully hers anymore. Blue, but glowing faintly. Lines of silver ran from her neck into her chest, almost like tiny circuits under her skin. The alien suit she wore moved like skin, adjusting itself with every breath she took. She whispered to herself, what have they done to me? The air around her pulsed. She felt it again, A strange hum in her mind. Not sound, not thought. Like a frequency her brain was now able to hear. It was calling her forward. Scene 2. The Lab of Ghosts. She walked through curved alien halls. The walls glowed with soft green light. Finally, she entered what looked like a lab. Machines were sleeping, waiting. She stepped close to a console. It activated by itself. A screen lit up. Her name appeared, Captain Alara Gray. Status, hybrid. Host active. Interface stable. Phase 1 complete. Next instruction, observation, adaptation. Begin memory review. Yes, no. She touched yes. Suddenly pain. Scene 3, not her memories. Flashes hit her like a storm. She saw a Korgan queen birthing thousands of soldiers. She saw Earth generals around a table, watching footage of alien cities burning. She saw her own body, lying unconscious as doctors injected silver fluid into her spine. Then she heard a voice, calm, robotic. She's the perfect match. Half human, half adapted. The Korgan systems respond to her faster than expected. She doesn't know yet. She thinks it's just a mission. By the time she finds out, it'll be too late. She pulled away, gasping for breath. No, she whispered. This wasn't an accident. The Korgans didn't capture her. They activated her. Scene 4. Inside the data core, the lab contained a sphere, floating in midair, humming softly. It responded to her thoughts. She reached toward it, and the walls changed. Lights formed around her, holograms, maps, logs. She now saw both sides of the war, human and Korgan, messages, mission plans, secret experiments. The bridge project. And something worse. Phase 2. Eliminate the host if neural integration is unstable. A human general's voice echoed. If she survives, she becomes our greatest weapon. If not, no one will know. Ilara clenched her fists. They were going to use me, then destroy me. Scene 5. Unwanted visitors. She stepped out of the lab. The outside sky of Rallos 9 was still red. But this time, something moved in the distance. Ships. Human ones. They had returned. She quickly found an old alien ridge to hide behind. Using her new interface, she cloaked her body. Not fully invisible, but hidden from scanners. She zoomed her vision. Another new ability. She saw the face of one of the officers stepping out of the ship. It was Lieutenant Vargas, her former second in command, and he was holding a scanning device. Command thinks she's still out here, Vargas said. Let's make sure she's not. Another soldier asked, and if she is? Vargas replied coldly, same orders, kill on sight. No witnesses. Scene 6. The hunter and the ghost. For hours they searched. Ilara followed them silently. Testing her abilities. She could hear radio signals now, encrypted ones. Human and alien both. She could move silently over terrain she once struggled on. Her injuries were fully gone, replaced with something more efficient. She was stronger, faster, smarter. She was different. Vargas split from his team. Perfect. Elara approached quietly, grabbed him from behind, dragged him behind a broken tower. He gasped, no. Please. She pressed her hand over his mouth, looked into his eyes. I trusted you, she said softly. He didn't speak, just trembled. You knew, all of you. You left me for dead. She let him go. He ran. She didn't stop him. Let them know I'm still alive, she said into the air. Scene 7. The alien voice. That night, as she sat near the edge of the crater, the voice returned. Soft, echoing in her mind. Not Korgan. Not human. Something in between. You are the first. You are the bridge. She closed her eyes. Why me? Because you lived. Flashes hit her mind. Korgan warriors dying. Their children hiding. Their queens infected. Their war desperate. We didn't start this war, the voice said. You did. Ilara breathed deeply. No, my people would never. Search deeper. We showed you a glimpse, you must see the rest. And she did. Scene 8. The real enemy. She saw the moment. The war began. Not by accident, but by design. A small Korgan colony sent peaceful messages. Earth's response: bombs. Why? Because Korgan biology was useful. Their DNA could bond with technology, something humans had never achieved. That's why she existed. They weren't just fighting aliens. They were harvesting them. She fell to her knees. This whole time, we were the monsters. Scene 9. One last test in the distance. She saw the human dropship taking off again. But it wasn't alone. Korgan flyer, sleek and deadly, appeared from the clouds and struck it mid-air. The ship exploded in a burst of fire. One escape pod shot out. It landed far away. She heard screams over the human frequency. One voice, female, young. Help. Anyone, please, I'm stuck. My leg. She hesitated. This was her enemy. But she knew that voice. Cadet Lyra Quinn, one of her own trainees. The same people who left her to die. And yet, this girl had no idea. Ilara stood. Her body buzzed with power. The Korgan voice whispered, "Let her die. She is one of them." She replied aloud, "No, I'm not like them anymore." Final scene. The decision. Ilara ran across the rocky land, faster than human limits should allow. She reached the pod. It was half buried. Lyra looked up, terrified. Her arm was broken, her face bruised. Then she saw Ilara. "Captain, I thought you were dead," Ilara said quietly. "So did I," Lyra cried. "I'm sorry, I didn't know. They told us." "I know." Ilara lifted the pod's hatch. Pulled her out gently. "Can you walk?" "No." "Then hold on." Ilara carried her, sprinting through the night, even as Korgan scouts watched silently from the cliffs. They didn't stop her. They knew what she was becoming. Not just a soldier. Not human. Not Korgan. Something else. Asterisk. Scene 1. Running with the enemy. Captain Ilara Gray ran through the blood-red jungle of Ralos-9. In her arms. Cadet Lyra Quinn. Wounded and afraid. Trees hissed with chemical fog. Korgan scouts watched from the cliffs, not attacking, only observing. "Why are they letting us go?" Lyra asked, groaning. Ilara didn't answer. She was breathing fast, her body glowing faintly under the skin. She had been running for nearly 10 kilometers without rest. She wasn't tired. That scared her. Scene 2. Hidden shelter. She found an abandoned Korgan outpost, half destroyed, buried under the roots of a huge red tree. Inside, Ilara laid Lyra down. Gently wrapped her arm. "Stop the bleeding." Lyra looked up at her with fear. "Captain, what happened to you?" Lyra paused. She touched her glowing arm, then met the young cadet's eyes. "I don't know what I am anymore," she said. Softly. "But I'm not your enemy." Lyra nodded slowly. "You saved me. That's all I need to know." Outside, thunder echoed. Ships in the sky. They had been found. Scene 3. The blackout team above the jungle. An Earth assault ship hovered silently. Inside, Colonel Rain stared at a holographic screen showing Ilara's energy signature. He tapped his earpiece. "All units, Gray is alive. Confirmed hybrid activity. You are authorized to terminate on sight. No questions, no prisoners." 12 soldiers jumped from the ship, Earth's secret unit. Blackout team. Elite, silent, untraceable. They landed. Near the jungle's edge, one whispered, "Target in Sector 3, moving toward ruined Korgan site." They didn't speak again. They moved like shadows. Scene 4. Inner conflict. Back in the shelter. Ilara sat with her back to the wall. Her hands shook. She looked at her reflection in a broken metal plate. Her skin was still human, but her veins glowed. Faintly, her thoughts weren't all her own. She remembered the voice. "You are the bridge, but a bridge between what? Human and alien? Or something darker?" A part of her wanted to scream. Another part, cold, calm, simply said, "Survive." Scene 5. The first strike. Ilara's ears twitched. A sound she shouldn't have been able to hear. Footsteps. No sound. No radio, just presence. She turned fast, just in time to block a strike from behind. A blackout soldier, face covered, launched at her with a shock blade. They fought fast, her enhanced reflexes versus his deadly training. She slammed him into a wall, cracking his helmet. His eyes widened. "You're not human anymore," he whispered. "No," she said. "But I remember how to kill." She took his blade. Scene 6. Fire in the trees outside. Blackout opened fire. Lyra ducked for cover. Ilara moved like lightning, dodging bullets, disabling attackers. But they kept coming. She called to Lyra. "Get underground. There's a tunnel." "I'm not leaving now." Lyra crawled into the ruins as Ilara turned back to fight. For the first time, she let go. Her body lit up. Her movements became too fast for human eyes. She jumped, slammed 2 soldiers into the mud, ripped a third's weapon apart with one hand. Her eyes burned blue. And then silence. 11 soldiers down. Only one left. Scene 7. The face. Behind the gun she turned and saw him, Colonel Rain, face calm. Gun pointed at her. He stood just meters away. "Ilara," he said, "you've become more than we hoped. You tried to kill me." "No, we tested you, and you passed." She took a step closer. "You call betrayal a test? You were always meant to evolve, to survive. You're the prototype for the next generation of war." "I'm not your weapon," she hissed. He smiled. "Then you're a threat." He fired. The shot hit her square in the chest. She dropped. Scene 8. The awakening darkness. For a moment, then light. Her body restarted. The energy inside pulsed. Her wound closed, slowly but completely. She rose from the ground. Rain took a step back. "Ilara?" She looked at him, not speaking. He fired again. This time, she caught the bullet, walked forward. "I'm not your project anymore." With one strike, she shattered his weapon, grabbed his collar, lifted him off the ground. "I remember everything you did. And I'm done being used," he gasped. "You'll never be safe. They'll come after you, Earth, the Council, everyone. I'm counting on it." She dropped him. And walked away. Scene 9. The Korgan response. That night, deep in the jungle, a Korgan warrior approached her, not to attack. To bow. "You saved one of your own," the creature said in her mind. "I saved an innocent," Ilara replied. "Then you are not like them." "I'm not like you either," the creature nodded. "Good, you must be more. The war will end or burn all worlds. What do you want from me?" "We want nothing, but you have awakened the others. They are watching now, deciding." "Deciding? What? If you are still human." Final scene. Earth watches in a secret Earth command center. A room full of generals stared at Ilara's last transmission. A younger officer whispered, "She's alive. She killed the whole team." A general replied coldly, "She's more than alive. She's changing, and we can't stop her." Another added, "She can connect to alien systems. She's not just a hybrid. She's evolution." The room fell silent. One voice spoke from the shadows. "Then let's prepare for war." Scene 1. A message in the dark. Ilara sat beside a small fire in the ruined outpost, staring at the stars above. Ralos-9. Her mind was heavy. The Korgan warrior's words echoed, "You have awakened the others." Suddenly, her implanted device buzzed. A message appeared in her vision, a transmission in broken English. "Ilara Gray, you are the key to peace or destruction. Seek the Oracle of Zithan." She frowned. The Oracle? She had never heard of it. A whisper in her mind, deeper than before. "Find the Oracle. Answers await. Time is short." Scene 2. The Oracle's location. Ilara grabbed her gear and began climbing through the jungle. The stars hid behind thick red clouds. She used her enhanced senses to follow an ancient map. Glowing faintly on her wrist device, the oracle was located. In a hidden valley, a place untouched by war. The closer she got, the more she felt. Different. The hum in her brain grew louder. Scene 3. Crossing the valley. The valley was silent. No birds. No wind. Just an eerie, calm. She stepped into a large cavern. Inside was a statue, half human, half alien, holding a glowing orb. Suddenly, a voice echoed, deep and slow. "Welcome, hybrid child." Alara looked around. From the shadows emerged an old alien figure, translucent, glowing softly. "I am Zithan, the oracle you seek." Scene 4. Zithan's truth. Zithan's eyes glowed with endless stars. He said, "You are both bridge and bomb. The war did not begin by chance." He showed her visions, how humans captured Korgan DNA for weapons, how Korgans altered humans to fight for them, how the war was a trap, a test for evolution. "You were created to decide, unite or destroy." Ilara's heart pounded. "Why me?" "Because you survived. And because you hold the power to link both worlds." Scene 5. The choices. Zithan extended his hand. "You must choose. Become the bridge, bring peace between humans and Korgans. Or become the bomb, destroy all, to end the war forever." Ilara looked down at her glowing hand. Her thoughts flashed. The lives she saved, the battles she fought, the friends lost. Could she be the key to peace, or was destruction the only way? Scene 6. A warning. Suddenly the cavern shook. Zithan's voice grew urgent. "You are not alone. Dark forces hunt you. Earth Command sends agents. Korgan factions want to control you. You have little time." Ilara clenched her fists. "Then I choose now." Scene 7. Rising power. Her body began to glow. She felt energy pouring through her veins. The orb in Zithan's hands connected to her mind. Visions of the future exploded. Worlds united in peace. Worlds destroyed by fire. She gasped, overwhelmed. "This power. It's inside me." Zithan nodded. "And it will grow." Scene 8. The first test outside the cavern. Alarms blared. Earth Blackout Team had found her. Ilara grabbed her gear. She turned to Zithan. "I have to go. Remember, hybrid child, your choice will shape the universe." Scene 9. Escape. Ilara sprinted through the valley as Blackout soldiers stormed in. She used new powers, bending light, moving faster than bullets. She fought, but didn't kill. Her goal was not destruction, not yet. Her goal was survival. To decide her path. Final scene. The decision begins as she disappeared into the jungle. Her mind was clear. Bridge or bomb? Peace or war? She whispered, "Whatever I become. This war ends with me." Scene 1. Shadow drop. The rain on Rallo's 9 had turned black, falling like oil from the sky. In the darkness, a new ship landed. Silent, sleek, no lights. Inside were 3 figures, Earth's most secret weapons. Cody name, GHOST unit. No names. No faces, no mercy. Their mission, eliminate Ilara Gray. No recovery, no witnesses, the commander said. "She's not one of us anymore." They stepped into the jungle. Their armor didn't shine. Their footsteps didn't echo. They were not here to talk. They were here to erase. Scene 2. The refugee camp. Ilara crouched beside a small fire in the underground Korgan camp. Around her were survivors, Korgan civilians, children, old warriors. Wounded, hiding. She had saved them from Earth's last attack. Some were still afraid of her. Others looked at her with hope. Lyra Quinn, the young human cadet Ilara rescued, stood by her side. "You really think you can stop this war?" Lyra asked. Ilara looked down. "I don't know. But if I do nothing, I'll just be there." "Weapon again." Lyra nodded. "I'm with you, no matter what." Scene 3. Ghosts arrive. Back on the surface. Ghost unit found the old trail. They moved fast. Their AI-enhanced brains predicted every step. She's not hiding. She's regrouping. One said, "Doesn't matter," the leader replied. "We end this tonight." They reached the valley edge. The ground lit up faintly, energy traces from Alara's power. "She's changing. More alien than before," the scanner said. "She dies anyway." Scene 4. A flicker of the past as Alara helped the wounded. A memory flashed into her mind. She saw herself, younger, human, in a training facility on Earth, surrounded by screens. "Emotion is weakness," a voice had said. "You were built to obey." The memory faded. She shook her head. Lyra noticed. "You okay?" "I'm remembering things they tried to erase." "They can't erase who you are." Alara didn't. Reply. Because she wasn't sure anymore. Scene 5. The trap suddenly. The camp lights flickered. The ground VIBRATED.KORG and warriors froze. "It's them," Alara said. Lyra grabbed a weapon. "We hold the line." Alara shook her head. "No, they want me. They don't care about you." She turned to the Korgan chief. "Get them into the tunnels. I'll deal with the ghosts." "You cannot face them alone," the chief growled. "I'm not alone," Alara said. "I have something they don't." "What's that?" She looked up at the sky. "A soul." Scene 6. Confrontation begins. Alara stepped into the open, wind blowing her hair, eyes glowing faint blue. The ghost unit was waiting in a triangle formation. They looked human. But something was missing from their faces. No expression. No emotion. "Captain Ilara Gray," the leader said. "You were a success. Now you're a threat." Alara raised her hand. "You don't have to do this. No choice. Orders are orders. You trained me to survive. And we will now untrain you." They attacked. Scene 7. Hybrid versus Ghost. The first ghost moved like lightning, striking with plasma blades. Alara dodged, blocked, flipped, her body faster than before. She struck back, not to kill, but to disarm. But these weren't soldiers. They didn't bleed. They didn't scream. They just reset and attacked again. The second ghost hit her in the back. Her armor cracked. Her energy flickered. The third pinned her down. "We end this," he whispered. Suddenly, boom. A blast knocked the ghost away. It was Lyra. Scene 8. Team Reborn. "I told you, I'm with you," Lyra shouted. Alara stood, coughing, smiling faintly. "You're insane." "I learned from the best." They fought side by side, human and hybrid, covering each other. Together, they disabled one ghost, but the other two kept coming. One ghost turned and sent a signal, initiating self-destruct protocol. Alara's eyes widened. "They're going to blow this whole valley." She had seconds to act. Scene 9. Sacrifice signal. Alara placed her hands on the ground. She focused. Her energy pulsed deep into the soil, connecting with the old alien tech below the surface. She spoke not with words, but with will. "Protect them. Stop this." A surge of blue light shot from the earth. The countdown stopped. The ghost units froze, confused. Then they shut down. Lyra gasped. "You stopped them." "No," Alara said. "The planet did." Scene 10. The voice of the world. A new voice echoed in her mind. Not Korgan. Not human. Ancient. Female. "You have awakened Rallos 9. The planet accepts you." Alara fell to her knees. "What am I becoming?" "You are becoming balance." She passed out. Scene 11. Waking again hours later. Alara woke in the underground camp. Korgan medics checked her vitals. She was alive, glowing, stronger. Lyra sat beside her. "You scared the hell out of me." Alara smiled weakly. "I scared myself. Those ghosts, they weren't human anymore." "Neither am I," Alara whispered. "But I'm still me." Scene 12. A message from Earth back in orbit. Earth Command watched everything. A general slammed his fist on the table. She disabled Ghost Unit. Another officer whispered, she connected to the planet. She's becoming too powerful. A voice in the shadows spoke. Then we must send the final weapon. Project Revenant. Everyone went silent. Final scene. They sent her a monster in deep space. A chamber opened. Inside, something once human, now pure death, eyes black, body made of synthetic flesh, and alien metal. It whispered one word, Ilara, and launched toward Rallos 9. Scene 1. The long walk. The road to the core temple was silent. No birds, no wind, no color. Ilara walked in front, her wounds healing but her heart heavy. Behind her were Lyra and Revenant. The mountain rose ahead like a dead god, covered in clouds, whispering secrets. Lyra looked up nervously. Are you sure we're ready? No, Ilara replied. But we don't have a choice. Revenant's black armor hummed softly. This place. I feel something. Ilara nodded. It's not just a temple. It's where the war began. Scene 2. A door that knows you. At the mountain's base, a huge door stood carved into the rock. Ancient symbols glowed faintly. As they approached, the door shimmered and spoke. Only the broken may enter. Ilara stepped forward. The door scanned her body, her memories. Accepted. Then Lyra. Accepted. Revenant stepped last. The door paused longer. He had once been human. Now something else. Incomplete, but still true. Accepted. The door opened with a loud, deep sound. Darkness waited inside. Scene 3. Voices in the dark. They entered a tunnel of stone and metal. Ancient tech buried in rock. The air was cold. Their footsteps echoed, whispers filled the air. Voices, old, broken, angry. Lyra grabbed Ilara's arm. Did you hear that? Ilara didn't answer. The voices weren't outside. They were inside her head. Scene 4. The memory room. The tunnel ended in a large circular room. In the center floated a crystal. When Ilara touched it, lights flashed. Images filled the room. Holograms. Lara saw herself as a baby inside a lab. Doctors in white coats watched through glass. Earth generals stood behind them. She is ready, one said. Begin the memory wipe. Insert combat training. The image changed. Ilara saw Revenant, once named Jason, being killed in battle. Then rebuilt. Then programmed. These are not people, a voice said. They are tools. Ilara's hand dropped. Her knees hit the floor. Scene 5. The hidden betrayal. More images came. The war between Earth and Korgan had not started with an attack. It started with a lie. A secret Earth mission had stolen Korgan. Tech first. Earth used it to build Ilara and Revenant, then blamed the Korgan. It was all planned. A fake war. For power, for control. Lyra covered her mouth. Oh my God. Ilara's eyes were wide. We were never heroes. We were proof that humans could be gods. Scene 6. The voice of the temple. The room shook. A blue figure appeared in the air. A Korgan elder, long dead. You have seen the truth, the voice said. Now you must decide. End the war, or become what they made you. Revenant stepped forward. I was built to obey. The voice turned to him. Then, unbuild yourself. Revenant dropped to one knee. He closed his eyes. No more orders. No more chains. He stood again, free. Ilara looked at the floating memory crystal. Can this be shown to the galaxy? The voice answered. Only if you survive the one coming next. Scene 7. Earth respawns far above, in Earth's warship command center. General slammed his fist. She found the temple. Destroy it. But, sir, I said, burn it. A massive cannon turned toward the planet. Charged. Locked. Fire. Scene 8. The sky burns in the temple. The walls began to tremble. Ceiling cracked. Rocks fell. The entire mountain shook. Ilara's heart froze. They found us. Revenant looked up. They fired the Omega beam. Lyra shouted, "We have to get out." Ilara ran to the memory crystal. "Help me move it." But the crystal floated. Higher, glowing brighter. Then it vanished. "The truth is inside you now," the temple whispered. "Run." Scene 9. Escape through fire. The trio ran through falling rocks and rising fire. Revenant used his body to shield the others. Ilara's skin began to glow again, her energy protecting Lyra. They reached the exit just as the mountain exploded. Boom. The shockwave threw them into the dirt. Ash filled the sky. But they were alive. Barely. Scene 10. Korgan army awakens when they return to the Korgan camp. The air was buzzing. News had spread. Ilara carried new power, the truth of the war. The Korgan warriors bowed their heads. "You have seen the secret," one said. "You carry the burden." Ilara stood before them, weak but tall. "No more lies, no more war for profit. I will bring the truth to Earth, to the stars, and if they come for me, I'll be ready." Scene 11. Lyra's choice. That night, Lyra sat beside a fire, looking up at the stars. Ilara walked over. "You okay?" Lyra nodded slowly. "I joined the army to protect people, but we were never protecting anyone. We were killing truth." Ilara sat beside her. "You don't have to come with me." Lyra looked at her firm. "I want to." "You sure?" Lyra smiled. "You made me believe again, in choice, in hope." Scene 12. Revenant's mission. Revenant stood near the edge of the cliffs, scanning Earth's signal systems. "They are hunting us. All channels blocked." Ilara joined him. "Can you still access Earth Command?" He paused. Double quotes. "Yes, but only once." "Then use it." "What message should I send?" Ilara thought for a moment, then said, "Tell them I remember everything. And I'm coming home." Scene 13. The last ship in a hidden Korgan hangar. A massive old warship was uncovered. Dusty, ancient, powerful. Ilara, Lyra, and Revenant stepped inside. "The ship can reach Earth?" Lyra asked. "Yes," said the Korgan chief. "It was once used to stop invaders. Now it carries the truth." Ilara touched the control panel. The ship lit up. As if it recognized her. Final scene. The journey begins as the ship lifted into space. Ilara looked down at Raylos-9. Her first real home. The place where she stopped being a weapon and became a voice. A symbol. She turned to her team. "This is it." Revenant nodded. "No turning back." Lyra loaded her weapon. "Let's give Earth something they can't erase." Ilara's voice was calm. "Not revenge, revelation." The stars opened ahead. They flew into the unknown. Scene 1. The long walk. The road to the core temple was silent. No birds. No wind, no color. Ilara walked in front, her wounds healing but her heart heavy. Behind her were Lyra and Revenant. The mountain rose ahead like a dead god, covered in clouds, whispering secrets. Lyra looked up nervously. "Are you sure we're ready?" "No," Ilara replied. "But we don't have a choice." Revenant's black armor hummed softly. "This place. I feel something." Ilara nodded. "It's not just a temple. It's where the war began." Scene 2. A door that knows you. At the mountain's base, a huge door stood carved into the rock. Ancient symbols glowed faintly. As they approached, the door shimmered and spoke. "Only the broken may enter." Ilara stepped forward. The door scanned her body, her memories. "Accepted." Then Lyra. "Accepted." Revenant stepped last. The door paused longer. He had once been human. Now something else. Incomplete, but still true. "Accepted." The door opened with a loud, deep sound. Darkness waited inside. Scene 3. Voices in the dark. They entered a tunnel of stone and metal. Ancient tech buried in rock. The air was cold. Their footsteps echoed, whispers filled The air. Voices, old, broken, angry. Lyra grabbed Ilara's arm. Did you hear that? Ilara didn't answer. The voices weren't outside. They were inside her head. Scene 4. The memory room. The tunnel ended in a large circular room. In the center floated a crystal. When Ilara touched it, lights flashed. Images filled the room. Holograms. Alara saw herself as a baby inside a lab. Doctors in white coats watched through glass. Earth generals stood behind them. She is ready, one said. Begin the memory wipe. Insert combat training. The image changed. Ilara saw Revenant, once named Jason, being killed in battle. Then rebuilt. Then programmed. These are not people, a voice said. They are tools. Ilara's hand dropped. Her knees hit the floor. Scene 5. The hidden betrayal. More images came. The war between Earth and Korgan had not started with an attack. It started with a lie. A secret Earth mission had stolen Korgan. Tech first. Earth used it to build Ilara and Revenant, then blamed the Korgan. It was all planned. A fake war. For power, for control. Lyra covered her mouth. Oh my God. Ilara's eyes were wide. We were never heroes. We were proof that humans could be gods. Scene 6. The voice of the temple. The room shook. A blue figure appeared in the air. A Korgan elder, long dead. You have seen the truth, the voice said. Now you must decide. End the war. Or become what they made you. Revenant stepped forward. I was built to obey. The voice turned to him. Then, unbuild yourself. Revenant dropped to one knee. He closed his eyes. No more orders. No more chains. He stood again, free. Ilara looked at the floating memory crystal. Can this be shown to the galaxy? The voice answered. Only if you survive the one coming next. Scene 7. Earth respawns far above, in Earth's warship command center. General slammed his fist. She found the temple. Destroy it. But, sir, I said, burn it. A massive cannon turned toward the planet. Charged. Locked. Fire. Scene 8. The sky burns in the temple. The walls began to tremble. Ceiling cracked. Rocks fell. The entire mountain shook. Ilara's heart froze. They found us. Revenant looked up. They fired the Omega beam. Lyra shouted, we have to get out. Ilara ran to the memory crystal. Help me move it. But the crystal floated. Higher, glowing brighter. Then, it vanished. The truth is inside you now, the temple whispered. Run. Scene 9. Escape through fire. The trio ran through falling rocks and rising fire. Revenant used his body to shield the others. Ilara's skin began to glow again, her energy protecting. Lyra. They reached the exit just as the mountain exploded. Boom. The shockwave threw them into the dirt. Ash filled the sky. But they were alive. Barely. Scene 10. Korgan army awakens when they return to the Korgan camp. The air was buzzing. News had spread. Ilara carried new power, the truth of the war. The Korgan warriors bowed their heads. You have seen the secret, one said. You carry the burden. Ilara stood before them, weak but tall. No more lies, no more war for profit. I will bring the truth to Earth, to the stars. And if they come for me, I'll be ready. Scene 11. Lyra's choice. That night, Lyra sat beside a fire, looking up at the stars. Ilara walked over. You okay? Lyra nodded slowly. I joined the army to protect people, but we were never protecting anyone. We were killing truth. Ilara sat beside her. You don't have to come with me. Lyra looked at her firm. I want to. You sure? Lyra smiled. You made me believe again, in choice, in hope. Scene 12. Revenant's mission. Revenant stood near the edge of the cliffs, scanning Earth's signal systems. They are hunting us. All channels blocked. Ilara joined him. Can you still access Earth Command? He paused. Double quotes, yes, but only once. Then use it. What message should I send? Alara thought for a moment, then said, tell them I remember everything. And I'm coming home. Scene 13. The last ship in a hidden Korgan hangar, a massive old warship was uncovered. Dusty, ancient, powerful. Alara, Lyra, and Revenant stepped inside. The ship can reach Earth? Lyra asked. Yes, said the Korgan chief. It was once used to stop invaders. Now it carries the truth. Alara touched the control panel. The ship lit up. As if it recognized her. Final scene. The journey begins as the ship lifted into space. Alara looked down at Raylos-9. Her first real home. The place where she stopped being a weapon and became a voice. A symbol. She turned to her team. This is it. Revenant nodded. No turning back. Lyra loaded her weapon. Let's give Earth something they can't erase. Illyra's voice was calm. Not revenge, revelation. The stars opened ahead. They flew into the unknown. Scene 1. The return. Alara stood near the front window of the Korgan ship. Ahead was Earth, beautiful, blue and cold. But she didn't smile. Looks peaceful, Lyra whispered behind her. It's not, Alara said. Peace built on lies is still war. Revenant was silent. His black armor pulsed softly. Earth's defense systems were already aware. They were coming. Scene 2. Earth Command reacts. General Thorne stared at the radar screen. Unknown ship entering orbit. Alien make, but powered by hybrid tech. The AI spoke. Pilot identity, Alara Gray. Thorne clenched his jaw. She survived. He turned to his officers. Activate Skyfire defense grid and prepare the public message. Tell them the traitor has returned. Scene 3. Broadcast blockade. Alara sat in the ship's control chair. Can we reach any civilian channel? She asked Revenant. He nodded. Maybe for 30 seconds. Good, that's all I need. He uploaded her signal. The message would hit thousands of networks before being blocked. She took a deep breath and spoke. My name is Alara Gray. I was built by Earth to kill. I obeyed until I saw the truth. They started the war. They made me from stolen tech. Then they lied to you. I am not your enemy. I am your mirror. I don't want war. I want truth. And now, I've come home to show it. Scene 4. The reaction across Earth. Civilians watched in shock. Some cheered, some cried. Others screamed in fear. In one small home, a girl whispered, Mom, is that the lady from the old news? Her mother stared, eyes wet. She's the one they. Saad died, but she's alive. And she's angry. Scene 5. Earth attacks. Alarms rang on the Korgan ship. 3 Earth drones approaching. Revenant said, 4 more incoming. Alara tightened her grip. No talking, no warning. They want to kill us before we can speak. Lyra loaded her weapons. Let's give them something to remember. Scene 6. Battle above Earth. The sky lit with fire. The Korgan ship spun between. Lasers, shields flaring. Lyra fired back, targeting weak spots. Revenant took control of the cannons. His eyes glowed. Target locked, fire. Explosions danced in orbit, but more ships kept coming. Too many. Alara stood in the center of the control room. She wasn't afraid. Let them come. I will not die with lies in my mouth. Scene 7. A dangerous offer. Suddenly, a new voice appeared on their screen. General Thorne, gray hair. Cold eyes. Alara Gray, stand down. Alara stepped closer. No. You have one chance. Surrender. We'll erase your memory again. Start over. I'd rather die with truth than live as your puppet. Thorne smiled. Then we'll burn you and your message with you. Scene 8. Planetfall. The Korgan ship broke through Earth's outer defenses. It crash-landed in the old city ruins of North Sector. Dust rose. Fire followed. But they were alive and they weren't alone. Thousands of people, rebels, Citizens, old soldiers, had seen her message, and they came. "We believe you. The truth lives. End the war." Ilara stood on a broken tower. The crowd waited. Scene 9. The people rise across the city. Chaos spread. People turned against the government. Hackers exposed documents, real proof of Ilara's claims. The people began to fight. Not with guns, but with unity. Walls were painted with her name. Ilara lives. The weapon became the voice. No more lies. Scene 10. The final stand. Earth sent their elite forces. They surrounded Ilara's camp. Revenant, Lyra, and Ilara stood together. "You know they'll try to kill us all," Lyra said. "I know," Ilara replied. "But if we run, we lose the truth." Revenant nodded. "Then we don't run." Scene 11. Truth versus Power. General Thorne arrived in person with a massive war mech. He stepped out, pointing a pulse rifle at Ilara. "You should have stayed dead." Ilara stepped forward. "You should have stayed human." They stared at each other, two symbols of different worlds. Then, without a word, war exploded. Scene 12. Final battle. The Kofadal. Ruins became a battlefield. Ilara used her power, glowing with the energy of Raylos. 9. Lightning crashed from her hands. Lyra fought beside her, sharp, fast, fearless. Revenant threw soldiers like ragdolls, blocking bullets with his body. General Thorne activated his mech and charged Ilara. Scene 13. The death blow. Thorne fired a beam straight at Ilara. Revenant jumped in front of her, taking the full blast. His armor shattered. His body collapsed. "Revenant!" Ilara screamed. He looked up, broken but smiling. "You live. That's enough." He closed his eyes. Silence. Scene 14. Ilara awakens. Something inside Ilara snapped. She screamed, not in pain, but in power. The sky turned white. Time slowed. She floated above the battlefield, glowing like a star. Her voice was no longer soft. "I am not your weapon. I am not your enemy. I am the end of this war." She raised her arms. A wave of light blasted from her body, pushing back soldiers, drones, everything. Thorne's mech shut down. The guns fell silent. Scene 15. Aftermath. When the light faded, Ilara stood alone in the center. General Thorne was gone. So were the drones. The people stepped forward. No one clapped. No one cheered. They just looked. And listened, because the war was over. Scene 16. 1 year later. Peace. Real peace. Earth and the Korgan signed a treaty with Ilara's name on it. The government was rebuilt. The truth was taught in schools. And statues were made. Of Ilara, of Revenant, of those who spoke when others stayed silent. Final scene. The voice lives. Lara stood at a balcony above a city that had once hated her. Now children waved at her. A little girl asked, "Are you the real Ilara?" She smiled. "I'm just someone who stopped listening to lies." She looked at the sky. A star flickered. "Rest now, Revenant," she whispered. "We made it."